Okay. Can marriage end?
Can marriage end?
Yes.
I mean, marriages do end. I mean, through death or through divorce. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Okay. Which one? Either one?
I asked. Okay, so can marriage is a marriage really ever over once you get married?
Oh,
even
okay.
if you get remarried,
or even if you get
can a marriage end? Like, am I married to the first person that I married forever now?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
like into eternity or just here on
both
Earth. Okay. Quick answer for eternity: no, we're not married in eternity. There's no giving and receiving husbands and wives kind of thing. So there's not like an idea of marriage.
Am I going to remember my wife when I'm in heaven?
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so.
That would be weird if everything that happened here just we don't know.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you.
Right?
Yeah, I agree with you. And so I don't, anytime we talk about heaven and what it's going to be like in that kind of specific sense, I think we're grasping at straws at best.
Okay.
Because Scripture doesn't really fully lay those things out. The best indicator that I have of the fact that we do remember is, and then we're going to have recollection, is because in Revelation, it says that there are the martyrs that are under the altar that are crying out for justice, because they have been martyred. But it's obviously they remember the fact that they've been martyred. And so the fact that they remember that gives me the sense of, okay, we're going to remember that. Jesus gives an analogy or a parable with a man named Lazarus, not the Lazarus he rose from the dead, but another Lazarus. And so anyway, but there's two individuals, and one of them is begging the other one to be able to go and talk to his family and that kind of stuff. So it does, and again, it's a parable, not to be taken literally, but even then you kind of get the sense of, okay, but there is a sense of, I can recall who I was married to, my children, that kind of thing, right? And so if you could, because anyway, so I think that, I do think we're probably going to be able to remember one another. I hope we're able to remember one another, but is it going to be like, oh, this is my, like, it's not like when I get up to heaven, it's going to be like, oh, well, this is my wife. In the sense of like, we're married now.
Hey, we're together.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that way.
Okay.
Now, I wouldn't mind it if it was that way.
But you have no idea.
I have no idea. Like,
okay.
I'm just spitballing over here.
Okay, so can marriage end while I'm alive?
Okay. Boy, that's an interesting question. All right, so I'm just going to read Matthew 19. Okay. So verse 3 of Matthew 19. Some Pharisees came to Jesus, testing him and asking, is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any reason at all?
Okay.
He answered and said, have you not read that he who created them from the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother, shall be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let no man separate. And they said to him, why then did Moses command to give her a certificate of divorce and send her away? Referring back to the law of Moses.
Oh, yeah.
And then in verse 8, Jesus goes on and said to them, because of your hardness of heart, Moses permitted you to divorce your wives, but from the beginning it has not been this way. As I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except for immorality, and marries another woman commits adultery. The disciples said to him, if the relationship of the man with his wife is like this, it is better to not marry. But he said to them, not all men can accept this statement, but only those to whom it has been given. For there are eunuchs who were born that way from their mother's womb, and there are eunuchs who were made eunuchs by men. There are also eunuchs who made themselves eunuchs for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. He who is able to accept this, let him accept it. And so Jesus here flat out says, what therefore God has joined together, let no man separate. Okay? But unfortunately, men do separate because of what Jesus goes on to say, because of the hardness of heart. But then he goes on to say that whoever divorces his wife and then marries another commits adultery, which would mean that you're still married.
Okay.
And so when you ask...
Except for immorality.
Except for immorality. Except for sexual immorality is really what it's referring to here.
How do we know it's referring to sexual immorality?
Yeah, we know it's talking about sexual immorality specifically because of the Greek word is porneia. And so it's specifically talking about illicit sexual intercourse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's okay to get a divorce if people do sex stuff with other people.
With other people. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then again, I know we're not talking about this right now.
And that means that God, if I chose to get a divorce, then if I got remarried after sexual immorality, that I am not committing adultery.
Yes, if the individual, if your spouse committed sexual immorality, you divorced that spouse, and then you got remarried.
If they commit adultery, then I'm allowed to get remarried without committing adultery.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. And so that's the way it reads here, right?
Okay.
So, yes. And so
so that would mean, okay, so is the marriage over when I say it's over, or is the marriage over when the adultery happens?
The marriage is over when you say it's over. In other words, God is permitting this.
God is permitting me to
end the marriage,
to officially end my marriage if
because
there is
of the adultery,
or adultery.
Yeah. Correct. And so that is when a marriage would be seen as ending in the eyes of God.
Okay.
Now, because there are plenty of individuals who, commit adultery and their spouse forgives them, they're reconciled, they work together through it.
Yeah.
And so obviously the marriage doesn't end at that juncture. It ends when one of the parties or when the party who was cheated on just says, I can't do this.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Because the issue with the sexual morality is now you've broken covenant with that person.
God that was
the covenant with God.
That was through God.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then the other option is they die or I die. Then it's over.
Correct. Then it's over.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Covenant broken through God. People are allowed to get remarried after spouse dies.
Right. Or like you said, or if one of the spouses die, then you're allowed to get remarried. Absolutely.
Okay. And God's cool with that too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sure is.
Okay.
Yep.